Alright, so hello gamers, and welcome back to another video. Yes, Phantom Forces got an update, and they added 4 guns, which is insane. The movement is so bad, they gotta breathe life into this game by just adding a bunch of guns. But in this video, we're gonna be going through all of these, what they do, and yeah, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new. Only like 20% of the people watching my videos are subscribed. But let's just start it off with the AK-15. Don't worry, we'll get into these guns, the RSH-12 and the MTS-569 pretty soon, because these have shotgun conversion. They're chambered in big 50 cal bullets, which is very cool. But let's start it off with the AK-15. AK-15 is a lower damage AK rifle with pretty high recoil, but a rate of fire of 700. It's a 3 to a 5 hit kill. If you hit a headshot at long range, it is a 4 hit kill at ranges. If you hit 2 headshots, it is a 2 hit up close. You can put it on burst for lower recoil, which is pretty cool. I do like the reload animation on this. You like hold it up pretty high. But yeah, overall, this gun is, it's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. The RPK-12 does the same RPM, has very similar damage and probably way better recoil, larger magazine. This AK-15 adds pretty much nothing to the game in terms of new statistics for a weapon. Overall, I don't think I'm going to be using this too much. A new gun is a new gun, I guess. I hate when they add these new guns that really don't do anything. The reload animation is very cool, though. Muzzle velocity is 2350, which is all right. 10 is pretty good, and no special attachments. Boring gun. On to the next one. Now, the next gun up is the AK-12 2016. You might be wondering, what's the difference between this and the normal AK-12? Because there's now 2 AK-12s in the game. Well, if we take off all the attachments and look at these side by side, you'll see that this one has slightly better overall range. This one does a little bit more damage at range and has a faster reload time. But other than that, same pen, same damage basically. Reload is faster and the animation is different, and it does a little bit more damage at range, but it doesn't have a burst. So basically, if you don't like the burst, this is a tiny upgrade to the base gun without a burst. And yeah, it is the most redundant gun they've ever added to Phantom Forces, and it's not even close. You thought the old ASVAL SR3M stats were bad. You thought something like, I don't know, some of the G36s were bad. This is the most copy-pasted gun in the history of Phantom Forces. And it's pretty crazy because this game has been out for so long. Yeah, the model is different and the animation is slightly different. It doesn't even have a unique attachment, not one. If you run super armor piercing, it is able to 4-hit kill to the torso all ranges. But yeah, I do not really recommend this. We should probably start it off with the RSH-12. This is essentially a very low velocity 50 cal handgun. I don't mean just like a baby 50 cal, I mean a big 50 cal. And the cool thing about this one is that it has 2 fire modes. It has the delayed trigger, so you have to, I'm clicking and then it's taking a little bit to start shooting, like click, click, click. You know, it takes a little bit to shoot, but then you can actually put it on single action, which basically means you have to bolt the gun essentially every single time. So there's double action where you hold down the trigger for a while, and there's single action where you have to pull back the priming handle, which is pretty cool. You get a faster fire rate. You have to wait in between shots for it, which is honestly a very cool downside and upside of using it. I do think that single action is a little bit too fast though. I think you can get away with using single action because it does so much damage. I would put single action more at like maybe 55 RPM or something, because yes, this gun has very low bullet velocity, but it does a lot of damage. In fact, it can one-shot headshot at any range. It can one-shot to the torso to 102 studs. So yeah, 65 RPM is not too bad because it can one-shot further than many sniper rifles. It can outshoot the model, the AWS, the AWM, the TRG, depending on the loadout, of course, the Mosin, the Dragunov, the M1903, the K14, the FT300, the Star Scout, the WA 2000. Yeah, that's a lot of snipers that it can outshoot. So yeah, 65 RPM is really not too bad considering you can one-shot so far. Yes, the muzzle velocity on this is very bad. But yeah, I would say that single action needs to be a little bit slower. I think the fact that it can one-shot super far is not that big of a deal, but I think the double action definitely should be the better way to run the weapon, you know? You want the double action to be better because it's harder to use, because, you know, you have to pull the trigger and then wait. Definitely a very fun gimmick for a weapon, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it just feels really weird to use the single action. Sorry, the double action. This one. It's really hard to use this one. That's kind of what makes it fun. And overall, this is definitely one of the most fun weapons they've added in a long time. It feels a lot like the R8 revolver from Counter-Strike. And just like the R8 when it came out, this is probably too OP, you know? I want to use it on double action, but it's just not even fast enough for that. Definitely nerf the single action though, because man, when you use single action, it's just way too good. Because when you can one shot to 100 studs away, you don't really need that much fire rate, you know what I mean? This has some conversions. The first one increases your RPM and increases your muzzle velocity by a bit. And right now, I don't know what the advantage of this one is. It can one shot headshot to 140 studs, which is really not that good. Like, I don't know what this one is trying to do. The damage gets way worse. It can't even one shot to the torso. It does not a lot of damage to the limbs. Like, what is the advantage of this one? I mean, you can shoot pretty fast on the double action, but it just doesn't do enough damage. Overall, this conversion is currently very bad. I think it should have a slight one-shot range, like 81 at that range. Come on, maybe like a 30 stud one-shot range. And it can have all the other advantages and disadvantages. The fact that I can't one-shot up close with this gun that's still double action is ridiculous. Man, this freaking sway is horrible. What am I even supposed to do when I'm swaying like that? Try to hit him from range? Impossible. Like, look at that. New sway is like one of the worst things they've ever added to this game. It just does not fit the game at all. And there's still no way to turn it off. It's so freaking annoying. I forgot to say, this does have a long barrel, so with the default, oh my gosh, one shot to about 130 studs. 28 gauge, the description is some 28 gauge ammo. I don't know. The ranges on this are so weird. It like barely goes down damage, and then it goes down damage a lot. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, that spread is not that good either. Why does it still have all this fire delay if it's just so bad? Basically, you get 8 pellets, but each one does 20, so it has really, really poor damage up close, and then it drops down to 10 damage per pellet at range. So I don't really know why it's like this, because I feel like it should do a lot more damage because it's more of a long-range weapon. Like, this is just not that good. This will probably be a fun ammo type if you're just bad with the default gun. You still want to use this kind of weapon with the double action. Sure, you're going to be able to one-shot people up close, but I don't feel like it really one-shots as hard as you'd like. You can have so many other revolver or shotguns that just don't have this double action, you know what I mean? Definitely one of the guns of all time, for sure. What? That's what I'm talking about, dude. Give me that one shot. There you go. Okay. Next up, we have the primary, which is the MTS-569. This has slightly higher bullet velocity, much higher pen, and should be able to one-shot a lot further. Yep, it can one-shot to 130 by default. Does it have a long barrel? No, it doesn't. So actually, the normal one with the long barrel has about the same one-shot range and almost the same velocity. They gotta definitely fix that. That's crazy. It has a slightly higher double action rate of fire. Oh my gosh, then a slightly slower single action fire, which is insane. I don't understand, man. Wow, that feels way slower. It's supposed to be 5 RPM, but I swear that is like 20. Knowing this game, the actual fire rate and what it says the fire rate is way, way different. And I put a suppressor on this though, because this gun is so loud. What's this like? Ew, that does not sound good. Let's put an optic on this one because it's supposed to be a little bit longer range. But so far, this seems like way worse than the normal gun. Let's go. Oh, man, this has really not good walk speed as well, but it's probably just the new movement. Hey, watch this. Oh, this has worse drop than the fix, which is crazy. There we go. You know what? I'm putting a ballistics tracker on this gun. That's how serious this is. I'm getting ballistics tracker out to see. Okay, up here. Got it. I think it has a cool gimmick. It's definitely a bit difficult to use, but I like that in this game, you know? 9x39 is not able to one-shot all ranges. It can one-shot headshot a little bit further. Muzzle velocity is still bad. This is just a terrible ammo type, man. What a spawn, by the way. If the movement was faster, I could have gotten away from that as well. This is just such a freaking bad ammo type, man. They gotta buff this. You get 10% more bullet velocity and a slightly faster fire rate, and what you lose is literally all your damage. The gun basically becomes a 2-hit DMR with a delayed trigger. What is even the point of this, man? It still has terrible bullet velocity. I could be using like a Beowulf TCR, have like freaking double the bullet velocity, shoot way faster, still do the same amount of damage. It's ridiculous. Now let's try 28 gauge. The same damage, so that's awesome. All right, this is just one of the guns. I know that this is in testing, but it's like, how did this even freaking get into testing like this? These stats just don't make any sense, man. I would ask to make all the stats for the conversions, but they don't pay you for doing it. They just get free labor. So I'm not going to do that because I wouldn't do that for free. All the people contributing for this game are getting paid nothing. It's crazy, dude. They're doing volunteer work for the freaking devs to make millions of dollars. These two guns are really awesome. I think they're very, very fun. Just need a lot of balance changes. And then the other two guns can get deleted from the game and I don't care. But yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Peace. Have a nice day.